Mughal Gardens, the iconic Mughal Gardens of the Rashtrapati Bhavan has been renamed. It will now be called the Amrit Udyan. These gardens of the Rashtrapati Bhavan will be open for the public starting today. And now there's a placard that's been put up, a board that's been put up outside the Mughal Gardens that refers to it as Amrit Udyan rather than the Mughal Gardens, as in fact the name always was. The iconic Mughal Gardens has been renamed as Amrit Udyan here on going forward. This is the big breaking news that's coming in. A notification has also been put forth in this regard. And remember, this comes months after the renaming of Rajpath as Kartavya Path. So it looks like the renaming spree continues. There'll be a lot of questions about whether this is an attempt to wipe out Mughal legacy from the national capital. But long debated Mughal Gardens, as it was called, very famous part of the Rashtrapati Bhavan, open to the public every once in a while, has now been renamed as Amrit Udyan going forward. Now, in fact, there is a notification that's been put out outside the Rashtrapati Bhavan Gardens that says very clearly that the name of these gardens is Amrit Udyan. It was known earlier as Mughal Gardens. We've all grown up referring to this as the iconic Mughal Gardens. Now that will no longer be the case. Much like how Rajpath has been rechristened as Kartavya Path, now Mughal Gardens has been renamed as Amrit Udyan. This is the big breaking news that's coming in. It will be opened up for the public from January 31st, which is usually the norm. It's at this time when everyone comes together to enjoy these beautiful gardens. But clearly in an attempt to set the record straight as far as history is concerned, to ensure that legacy of Delhi really is protected as to what really it denotes, rather than focusing completely on Mughal history, here's another attempt at doing that by the Modi government. The Mughal Gardens of the Rashtrapati Bhavan has been renamed as Amrit Udyan. And there is in fact a board that's been put up outside the Rashtrapati Bhavan, outside the Mughal Gardens in particular, which refers to these gardens now as Amrit Udyan. We're going to get you reactions to this. There's no doubt that this will spark a political fight. Just in fact, months ago, you had Rajpath in the national capital, again an iconic stretcher in Delhi, being renamed, being called Kartavya Path. And the Modi government said that it's because we need to send out a message about this not being about the British Raj, wiping out that entire legacy. And now, the iconic Mughal Gardens are also being renamed. News that's coming in right now. As in fact we track the latest, let's try to get you also some reactions that are coming in on this. How is the opposition going to be seeing this move? For decades now, the Rashtrapati Bhavan's gardens, beautifully known for, in fact, the kind of flowers they put up, the garden that's set up in the entire area. Now it's renamed from the Mughal Gardens to Amrit Udyan. Akshay Dongre is joining us with more details on this big move. There's a lot of speculation about whether this would eventually happen, Akshay, but now officially the government has said that it's no longer Mughal Gardens, it's now Amrit Udyan.
Well, absolutely, Akshata. In fact, this is a very symbolic move coming in with the government already celebrating an Amrit Kal as far as 75 years of independence is concerned. Now, Mughal Garden, which is not just an idea, a place that has been considered an iconic place in the national capital. It used to open once every year, but now the government is also has announced that the Mughal Garden will be opening twice every year, and in the recent opening that is about to take place on 31st of January, the Mughal Garden will remain open till 26th of March. So it is going to be one of the longest duration when the erstwhile Mughal Garden, that is now called as Amrit Udyan, it will remain open. In fact, it will remain open twice every year now from what it was earlier, and it used to remain open earlier only once every year. So these are certain changes that are being made. Also, there are certain attempts to, in fact, digitize the garden. There is a QR code that will be there near the flowers, the kind of species of flowers that are there, so that people can actually scan those QR codes and in fact read about the history of this Amrit Udyan and how it was made, what kind of special flowers that are there, that are
there'll be a lot of talk, Akshay. There's no doubt that there'll be a lot of talk right now about this, especially whether this is an attempt to remove and purge India and the national capital of the Mughal legacy.
Well, this has been a question. If we talk about roads that have been renamed from the names of Mughal emperors, including Aurangzeb himself, or to other controversies that have been coming up as far as renaming any place is concerned. There has been a concerted attack by the opposition. In fact, opposition has questioned the reason behind changing of these names. In fact, what we can remind our viewers is about the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. When there was a proposal that AIIMS will also be renewed. There was an opposition by the doctors of the hospital who said that any kind of renaming of the medical institute will in fact hamper the kind of legacy the medical institute has. In fact, it is known across the world as AIIMS, and if you rename it to some other name, then it is going to impact the kind of medical institute, the reputation it has. And similarly, there will be a question raised about the renaming, the timing it is coming at, and the need for the renaming. In fact, because throughout these 75 years of independence, that garden has always been known as Mughal Garden. Now it is being renamed as Amrit Udyan of course, as far as the legacy of these Mughal emperors are concerned and the Mughal rule in India is concerned. There will be questions raised by the opposition and other people as well, that what exactly was the need for this renaming, and if the government wanted to make changes as far as facilities are concerned of the garden, they could have done it without renaming it as well. But there was a speculation going on for a long time that the Mughal Gardens name can be renamed.
Akshay, stay with me. Let's get in Shehzad Poonawalla of the BJP on this broadcast. Shehzad, the iconic Mughal Gardens in Delhi has been renamed now. It's going to be called Amrit Udyan. The BJP, I'm sure you also welcome this move.
You see, what we are experiencing is the shedding of colonial legacy and colonial symbols, whether it's the renaming of Rajpath to Kartavyapath, whether it's getting rid of the statue of King George, whether it's getting rid of King George's cross from the naval ensign and replacing it with Maharaj Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's Nishan, or whether it is renaming, these past burdens with names that are more contemporary and that reflect Indian culture, Indian sentiment. I think that should be a step that should be welcomed, and I'm not sure if there was ever an official name as such. The President's estate and the President's office that will give you more information. But now that it has been collectively named as Amrit Udyan in commemoration and celebration of the 75th year of Azadi, which is being seen as Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, I think everyone should celebrate.
Shehzad, what's wrong with Mughal Gardens? You're saying colonial mindset. Mughal Gardens, when you see that particular name, and it's iconic. Rashtrapati Bhavan's gardens have always been known by that name. Everyone in the country knows it as Mughal Gardens. Is there an attempt to completely purge Delhi of the Mughal legacy?
If there was never an official name to that effect, anybody is at liberty to still call it what they want to call. But when the name has been given, it has been given because 75 years of Azadi is being celebrated. That is called Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and therefore the President's estate has thought it best to name it as Amrit Udyan. I think there is no problem in that, and the fact of the matter is that why not have all our legacies reflecting what is our cultural traditions and roots? Why is this attempt to always go to a foreign mindset and a foreign baggage which doesn't reflect the sentiment or the cultural values of this country? I think if it is reflecting the sentiment of our country, it should be accepted, it should be welcome. That should be the attempt, because any country that does not celebrate its own cultural legacy and past is often shackled with the mindset of slavery.
But then the question is then, are you saying that the Mughal legacy is not a part of our legacy at all? Shehzad, just stay with me. I request you to stay on because we've got Rashid Alvi of the Congress also with us. Mr. Rashid Alvi, what do you make of this move? The iconic Mughal Gardens in Delhi, in the Rashtrapati Bhavan, has been renamed now as Amrit Udyan.
It is very unfortunate. Mughal Garden was made by British people, not by Bharatiya Janata Party. Whether they are going to change the name of Lal Qila or Rashtrapati Bhavan or even Parliament, what is this? You are unable to do anything in this country. You are unable to make anything in this country, and it is your habit. Sometimes you will change the name of roads, sometimes you change the names of towns, and on your own you are doing nothing, no development. You go ahead with development and whatever name you think, nobody can object.
Okay. Mr. Rashid, Alvi, just stay on with me. Shehzad still with us. If Shehzad, if you're there, would you like to respond to this? The Congress is saying that there's no new development, only renaming that's happening non-stop.
No, we've all seen the fact is that Rajpath was renamed as Kartavyapath, but there has been development there too. Whether it's the entire new parliament that is coming up, whether it is the entire central vista that is being developed, or whether it is the placement of the statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. And now I want to ask Mr. Alvi, who's in the news for questioning the armed forces and demanding sabut against them. Can Mr. Rashid Alvi tell me that is he a descendant of the Mughals? Does he find a direct common linkage with the Mughals? When something is being named that is striking a chord with our current cultural legacy and heritage, why is it upsetting him? I mean, I can't understand. I know of many people in his party who have come and adopted Indian names. They did not keep their Italian names. So if you change your Italian name and you take an Indian name because you have pride in this country's culture, then it is wah wah. And now today, when something has been named, and it did not have an official name, I don't think Mughal Gardens was an official name. I'm subject to be corrected by your channel. I think it was always called various lawns, and the lawns were together called different lawns. Today it's been renamed consolidatedly as Amrit Udyan. Please check it out. I may not be wrong on this one. So today, Mr. Rashid Alvi is suddenly throwing a fit. I mean, I don't understand this hypocrisy of Mr. Rashid Alvi. Then Rashid Alvi should go and tell his party leader that why have you changed your own name from whatever name you had.
From what I see, Shehzad, on the website of the Rashtrapati Bhavan, it is called the Mughal Gardens. Official or not, everyone knows it as the Mughal Gardens. Whatever the intent is, there will be questions about whether the attempt is to get rid of that tag of Mughal Gardens and thereby bringing this name of Amrit Udyan. I've run out of time, but Shehzad Poonawalla, thank you very much for joining us here on India Today and taking my questions. I just want to put out for you also the official statement from the Rashtrapati Bhavan, where they've confirmed the renaming, the new name of the Rashtrapati Bhavan Gardens from Mughal Gardens to Amrit Udyan.
Rashtrapati Bhavan Gardens, which will now onwards be collectively known as Amrit Udyan, are being opened tomorrow by the Honorable President, and they will be open this time for 2 months for the general public, from 31st January to 26th March. उसके अलावा हम लोगों ने स्पेशल कैटेगरीज के लिए कुछ दिन रखे हैं 28 मार्च से लेकर 31 मार्च, जिसमें अलग अलग कैटेगरीज जैसे फार्मर्स हैं, डिफरेंटली एबल्ड लोग हैं, विमेन हैं, उनके लिए एक दिन निश्चित किया गया है. And apart from that, this time in our main attractions, one is that we have 12 different varieties of tulips, and which you can see they are
this Mughal Gardens to allowing to the people.
So that's the official confirmation that's coming from the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The BJP saying that, look, was it ever officially called Mughal Gardens? The reality is the website of the Rashtrapati Bhavan did recognize that it's called the Mughal Gardens. Either way, now the entire garden, the beautiful gardens of the Rashtrapati Bhavan will now be called Amrit Udyan. We're going to continue tracking this story very closely.